Here's the midday news on OGBC. My name is Emmanuel Items. A renewed call has been made for economic diversification for prosperity. Governor Abiodun is reaffirming commitment to ensure uninterrupted power supply in Ogun State. Israel continues pullback of forces from Lebanon amid ceasefire deal. There is the need to explore non-oil sectors for revenue generation and economic transformation. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, came up with this. He noted that there are several non-oil sectors that have strong potential for revenue generation, job creation, and economic growth. Mr. Edun highlighted key areas such as agriculture and agro-processing with minerals and mining, manufacturing and industrialization, tourism and hospitality, as well as digital economy and ICT. A collective action will go a long way in tackling the challenges facing northern Nigeria, particularly insecurity and underdevelopment. The governor of Gombe State, Alhaji Inuwa Yahya, came up with this in Gombe on Monday. He also emphasized the need for the North to overcome ethno-religious and political differences, provide visionary leadership, and drive sustainable development. The governor stated that with the region's vast human and natural resources, there is no excuse for stagnation or underdevelopment. The Nigerian Army is reaffirming its readiness to continue to invest in commanders and other security agents. The General Officer commanding 8th Division, Major General Ibikunle Ajose, gave the assurance on Monday. According to him, the Army will continue to educate officers and warrant officers and equip them with the necessary tools for operation, planning, and problem solving. He noted that the current security challenges facing the nation requires a whole of government and society approach as it cannot be handled alone by security agencies. Away from security matters, against the backdrop of Nigeria's persistent national grid collapse and unstable power supply, the Senate committee has kick-started discussions with South Korean energy firm. To this is explore many grid solutions and alternative energy sources, including coconut-derived gramophene for power generation. The committee chairman, Senator Enyinaya Abaribe, during a meeting on Monday in Abuja, told the South Korean delegation that Nigeria's power sector has remained stagnant at 4,000 megawatts due to outdated infrastructure and the lack of transmission capacity to distribute additional power. Here at home, Governor Dapo Abiodun has assured that his administration will continue to provide substantial infrastructure that will better the lives of the people. He gave the assurance during the on-the-spot assessment of the ongoing project at Onijongonjogo Power Plant in Iwekoro local government of the state. The governor maintained that the problem of epileptic power supply rocking the state will soon be over as the first phase of the Ogun Light Up project, overseen by the State Independent Power Project, will be ready in 8 weeks. Mr. Governor stated that the project was part of his administration's plan to leverage the availability of gas reticulation from the escrow cost Lagos pipeline system to solve energy problems and improve commercial and industrial activities in the state. On the day departed, the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, Prince Tapo Abiodun, has described the death of Pan Niger Delta Forum (PANDEF) leader Chief Edwin Clark as a profound loss to Nigeria, yet a glorious conclusion of a monumental chapter in Nigeria's history. Governor Abiodun, who described the former Federal Commissioner for Information as one of the greatest leaders ever produced by the South-South geopolitical zone of the country, and arguably the most engaging voice for the voiceless, of decades of exploitation and of the foremost nationalist, educationist, legal practitioner, freedom fighter, and restructuring advocate marks an era that can never be forgotten. You are listening to the midday news on OGBC 90.5 FM. Israel is pulling its forces out of southern Lebanon as a deadline for their withdrawal under a fragile ceasefire deal passed. The Israeli military continued a pullback this Tuesday morning, however, while the majority of its forces will meet the revised deadline agreed under the ceasefire deal with Hezbollah. Israel has said it will remain in 5 strategic locations, warning it is ready to resume hostilities. Lebanon's army, which under the deal should deploy across the south of the country as Israel vacated, reported that it was present in around a dozen of villages and border areas. Israeli military spokesperson Mr. Nadav Shoshani confirmed that 5 hilltop locations will be maintained to provide vantage point and protection for communities in northern Israel. European leaders have said they are ready to give Ukraine security guarantees and warned that it would be dangerous for Kiev to agree to a ceasefire without a negotiated peace agreement in place with Moscow. The offer of a European security commitment to Ukraine was made at a meeting in Paris on Monday, called by French President Emmanuel Macron, after United States President Donald Trump excluded European allies and Kiev's leadership from negotiations due to take place in Saudi Arabia with Russia on a deal to end the war in Ukraine. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said Europe is ready and willing to lead in providing security guarantees for Ukraine. The 3 hours meeting at the Tennessee Palace in Paris followed a U.S. statement on Ukraine last week that 3 in northern South Sudan, which killed civilians and left a peacekeeper wounded. The oil-rich but impoverished nation, which only achieved independence in 2011, is plagued by instability with frequent clashes and political infighting. The UN mission in South Sudan, in a statement, informed that fighting broke out between Sudan's People's Defense Forces and armed youth in Nasir in Upper Nile State, which borders Sudan, on February 14 and 15. The statement adds that some fighters used heavy weaponry, which has reportedly resulted in deaths and injuries to civilians as well as armed personnel. It did not give any details of the number of people hurt, but added that a UN peacekeeper on a scheduled patrol was wounded during mortar shelling. On sports, former Manchester United defender Gary Neville says Ruben Amorim will need 2 or 3 transfer windows to build a squad that can play his system at the team. United have clinched in the table after Sunday's defeat at Tottenham ensured Amorim is secured just 4 wins from his first 14 Premier League games in charge. Amorim wanted to delay his appointment at Old Trafford but was told it was now or never. Security is central to the society's development and contributes to ensuring a secured society. To end the midday news, another look at major items. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, said there is still the need to explore non-oil sectors for revenue generation and economic transformation. During the inspection of the installation of 30 megawatt power plant located in Onijongon in Iwekoro local government, the Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun said the project will aid the provision of uninterrupted power supply. You also heard that Israeli military spokesperson Mr. Nadar Shoshani confirmed that the country is pulling out its forces from southern Lebanon as deadline for a ceasefire deal passed. The midday news was edited by Adebanjo Wahab and broadcast from OGBC Abeokuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at ogunradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Ogun Radio Abeokuta and on X at OGBC 90.5 FM. You can also listen to OGBC on the Radio Garden.